What's happening, guys? How's it going? It's Matt here, bringing you the first video in my Build Me Up tutorial series, which focuses in on the different strategies used in the multiplayer scene for Age of Empires 2. In this episode, we'll look at the Scout Rush, an incredibly effective strategy allowing you to pump out feudal age military in the form of scout cavalry. We begin by first selecting the town centre and queuing as many villages as possible. Have the two villages closest to each other construct a house, and do likewise with the remaining villager as well. As villages are created from the town centre, they should be tasked to gather food from one sheep at a time underneath the town centre until a total of 6 villages are taking sheep. During this time, your scout cavalry should be actively exploring the map around your starting position, as it is important to find the remainder of your starting resources, namely 4 more sheep, 2 boar, your berries, your closest woodlines, and your gold and stone piles. Once you have 6 villagers taking sheep underneath the town centre, the next villager should be sent to build a lumber camp on your closest and safest woodline, taking care to place the lumber camp directly against the forest to ensure maximum efficiency when gathering wood. You should send the next 2 villagers out to take wood as well. The next step is to lure your first boar. Assign the next villager created to make his or her way over to the boar and have them shoot it twice before retreating back to the town centre. Ideally, the boar should arrive at the town centre as the 4th sheep is being finished. If this is not the case, have the villagers that were taking sheep force drop their food at the town centre by selecting them and right-clicking on the town centre, and then retask them to shoot the boar. At the same time, garrison your luring villager to pull him or her from harm's way, and then retask them to gather food from either the nearly finished sheep or the boar underneath the town centre. At this stage, it's time to build another house, which should be done with the next villager created. It's a good idea to place the house in such a way that it creates part of a makeshift wall-off, which can help to keep your base safe in the later stages of the game. This villager, along with the next 2, should then build a mill next to your berries and then be tasked to gather from them once the mill has been constructed. Since villages can hold more food from boar and deer, you may have to force drop the food that the hunters underneath the town centre are carrying in order to prevent your town centre from falling idle. The next villager created will join the other foragers once a further house has been constructed, giving you a total of 4 villagers on berries. Now we need to lure the second boar. Just as before, have the next villager shoot the boar twice and then make its way back toward the safety of the town centre. The next 2 villagers created during this time should be made to gather food from either the boar already underneath the town centre or the boar that is currently being lured. With the villagers gathering from the first boar selected, force drop any food and have them attack the incoming boar whilst simultaneously garrisoning the luring villager. Remember to try and land the boar directly underneath the town centre to ensure maximum food gathering efficiency. At this point, take 2 injured villagers and have them build farms around your town centre as well. The next 2 villagers should be sent to gather wood from around your initial lumber camp. Move a sheep underneath your town centre and have the next villager created begin gathering food from it. The next and final villager should then be sent out to a new woodline and made to construct a lumber camp along with 4 uninjured villagers from underneath the town centre. Research Loom now and click up to the Feudal Age once it's completed. Task any villagers still underneath the town centre to gather food from your remaining sheep. During the transition to the Feudal Age, there isn't an awful lot to do, but remember to keep your scout cavalry active to get an idea as to what your opponent might be planning. At this stage, your economy should be set up in the following way: 5 villagers on 1 lumber camp, 2 villagers on farms around your town centre, 5 villagers gathering food from sheep beneath your town centre, 4 foragers, and 5 villagers on a secondary lumber camp. At about 60% of the way to the Feudal Age, send 1 or 2 villagers to construct a barracks and a house, again placing them as part of a wall-off for your base. Once you've reached the Feudal Age, place a stable with your 2 building villages and queue an additional 3 scouts once it's been built. Research double bit axe and horse collar from the lumber camp and mill respectively, and set the gather point for your town centre onto the surrounding straggler trees. Created villagers should now be tasked to seed farms whenever you have enough wood, until you have between 13 to 15 farms seeded, depending on how heavy you want to go into scouts. Depending on how the game is unfolding, you may choose to begin gathering gold at around the 13-minute mark in preparation for an archer transition. Researching wheelbarrow at the town centre at around 15 minutes is a good idea as well. From this point on, the diverse nature of Age of Empires 2 means that you need to read how the game is playing out and adapt your economy accordingly, so there aren't really any more definitive additions to be made to the build order from here. In saying that, here's a recap of the Scout Rush build order up until this point. Villages 1 to 6 go to sheep underneath the town centre. Villages 7, 8 and 9 gather wood. Villager 10 lures your first boar. Villager 11 builds a house and then goes to berries. Villagers 12 and 13 go directly to berries. Villager 14 builds a house and then goes to berries. Villager 15 lures the second boar. Villagers 16 and 17 gather food from underneath the town centre. Villagers 18 and 19 go to your initial lumber camp. Villager 20 takes sheep underneath the town centre. And Villager 21 constructs a lumber camp on a new lumber line. And there you have it, guys. This wraps up my Scout Rush build order, and I hope it's been of some use to you all. Take it easy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.